me? Yeah. All right. Hey guys, let me know if you guys can hear me by leaving a comment. Just want to make sure that everything is good before we get started. It is Monday, and I will tell you guys that it is that time of the month that I am freaking tired today. So I know a lot of times you guys see me with a lot of energy, but this is me tired. But I'm going to try to bring it up for you guys today and talk to you guys about Facebook, and hopefully you guys all have pens, paper ready, because I'm going to give you guys just a lot of really, really good information about Facebook. I know that a lot of you guys, I love you guys so much, seriously. I bet we're all on the same cycle. Anyways, Facebook, guys, there's a lot of different things that have really changed with Facebook, and I just want to make sure that you guys are all up to date on this. I did a presentation on Facebook in Miami, and then I did another one at Leadership, and I'm finally being able to pour into you guys and give it to you guys. So let's just get this started. I'm going to get my screen share up. For some reason, you guys can't see my screen share. Please let me know as we get going. All right, let's just hope that this bad boy works. Come on. I might have to do it. I don't know if it's not going to go this way. All right, hopefully you guys can see this. I'll just try to keep it on here unless I can go. Oh, full screen. Okay, yay. All right, so I'm talking to you guys about the rules of Facebook engagement. So a little kind of backstory on why I decided to dive into Facebook. It was probably the beginning of September, and I was having a lot of my coaches, and including myself, just really have a lot of decreased engagement on Facebook. And I will tell you guys that I probably spent a good 3 weeks or so just really analyzing Facebook, learning more about the algorithm, really learning more about how to increase my engagement on my page. And when I do the things I'm going to teach you guys, it works, okay? It also, if you don't do these things, you're going to notice that you don't have a lot of engagement on your page. And because I've been pretty much running my business on Instagram stories, my Facebook engagement right now is not the best. So I know that I have to consciously do the things I'm going to be teaching you guys today to help boost up my Facebook engagement. And I'm going to give you guys just some simple things that you guys can do. Hopefully a lot of you guys are doing these things already within your business. All right, so let's just kind of start. So I kind of took a deep dive into Facebook, and I wanted to learn really what the mission statement was behind Facebook and what the purpose was, thinking that maybe the algorithms kind of went around that. So the mission statement of Facebook is to give people the power to share and make the world more open and connected. And then the purpose is to increase personal engagement in an online space. So what I really want you guys to think about is, so often when it comes to social media, I know that we get worried about, our posts and what the copy on that post is going to say, and making sure that the pictures are crisp. And, we worry more about the technology aspect of our business than we actually do the relationship part. And so something super, super important for you guys to realize is that social media is really just amplified relationships. Okay, so it's just taking technology and amplifying those relationships that are there. So if you don't have relationships with people, I started my business with 100 friends on Facebook, and I literally, the month before, gone through and kind of deleted a bunch of people. If you are like that and you're just starting and you're not getting any kind of likes, you're not getting any kind of engagement, just remember that you can definitely build from it, but that it's going to be amplifying those relationships. And this is why, you have people that might get started and all of a sudden they take off, and they're businesses just kind of boom, right? Because they already have this trust they've already built. They already have these relationships that they have. They already have that sweat equity in that relationship with others, where somebody else might post the exact same content but don't get the engagement because they don't have those relationships. So social media, I really want you guys to think about, it's really all about relationships. And as networkers, that's something that we should be doing really on a daily basis anyways. So as long as we, stick to the rules of what we need to be doing, you're going to be applying, you're going to be also going by Facebook's rules as well. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But try to think more about community, try to think more about conversation, try to think more about building relationships. And that's really a great way to help you guys with the Facebook algorithm. All right, so let's talk about this for a second, because I know that people kind of throw around the words affinity, throw around the word algorithm, and I just want to kind of break it down to what this is. So Your affinity is basically the relationship that you have with others within the algorithm, okay? So affinity is all about relationships. It's your social media currency. It's how much of a connection you have with each individual fan, okay? We already know that if we can have somebody liking, commenting, or sharing on our content, then most likely that person is going to be able to see future content. I know in the past that we used to think that you could go through and like on a bunch of posts and comment on a bunch of posts, and that would help your posts show up in that person's feed, but that necessarily isn't really the way that this works. That is more like the law of reciprocity, right? You give to others, you're going to get back. It really has nothing to do with your Facebook affinity. So your job is really to create conversations when it comes to affinity and getting people to like, comment, and share back on your posts, okay? When you think about this and what we're going to go over, thoughtfulness is really the ultimate algorithm hack. Think about giving to others more than you take. And it just kind of goes back to even just Gary Vaynerchuk always talking about, jab, 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 right hook. It's the same kind of thing that when you're commenting on other people's posts, they are really being thoughtful and giving really thoughtful comments. It's going to most likely they're going to come to your page, and then, like I said, you're going to get more like comments and shares on your stuff. So just so you guys kind of know kind of the difference with that, you're trying to get people to like, comment, and share on your material. That's really what's going to help with affinity and not the other way around. There's three main things that really affect your affinity, okay? The first one is the mutual connection that person has with you. The second thing is mutual friends engaging on that post. And then the third thing is recent interaction. And this is really proven to be the most important, okay? So remember, mutual connections, mutual friends engaging, and then recent interaction being the most important. So if you are liking and commenting on somebody else's post and they, leave you a message back, then timing becomes a lot less relevant when it comes to having mutual relationships as well as recent interactions within your post. So recent interaction is one of the most important, and it's going to be the first tip that I'm going to share with you guys today. Okay, so the first thing that you guys can do, and let me kind of break this down because I believe that there's rules, but I also don't want to inhibit people, but I want to give you guys a little bit of kind of a backstory to this. I know that we've always been told to post 3 to 5 times a day, and I think that that's great if you can do that, but everything that I've been reading lately is really saying that you only need like 2 posts max on Facebook, especially if you have a really, really good post that's going that has a lot of interaction. You want to let that post ride because it's going to, any post that you post after that, say that you do a post, it has really, really great reach, it's still getting likes and comments on it, and then 2 hours later you post another post after that, those 2 posts are going to be competing posts. So, and I noticed this a lot with my post, that when I had a really good post, the post after it, no matter if I thought that it was brilliant or not, still wasn't getting a lot of engagement on it. Now, I want to say there's some people that post multiple times a day and they get a ton of engagement on their posts. So what I'm sharing with you guys is the information that I've read. And it's basically saying there's no need to do more than 2 posts a day, okay? So being that that is kind of the information that I've heard, you'll notice that my posting went down a little bit on Facebook, which is fine for me. It gives me time to do a lot of other things, and I'm really building my business more on IG stories, okay? So for my 2 posts that I'm doing a day, primarily I'll do a post in the morning, and then I'll do a post at night. Or I'll do a post around noon and I'll do a post at night. But what I'm doing is I'm going in and I'm interacting before I post. You can also use this tip on Instagram as well. But I take 10 minutes of my day and I go through and I comment on people's stuff. Genuine, heartfelt comments. I do have a Facebook list that I use, but you can also just go through your news feed and you can do that as well. And I just want you guys to really think about priming that post, okay? So I do this in the morning, and then if I'm going to post again at night, I go through and I leave heartfelt comments. So think about comments really as conversations. And at the end of that comment, so say that I say like, hey girl, like I love your shirt. Where did you get that? I want to get those Christmas PJs. And then I'm asking a question at the end of that comment so that hopefully I can get that girl to respond right there in that comment. If that happens and she does that return response, then because of mutual interaction as well as recent interaction, most likely she's going to start to see my stuff. I hope that that helps you guys to make sense. So when you're doing your post, make sure that you guys, before you guys do your post, make sure that you guys do some interaction beforehand. Really think about playing into that social media hustle. And this is really one of those tips, is interacting before your post. So 10 minutes before you guys get on, go on, give some love bombs. That's what I tell my team. Go and just love on people. Be grateful for people. Give to others before you guys do use your posts, okay? The second tip that I'm going to give you guys is really putting the conversation back into social media, okay? So we want to really look at our comments more as conversations. So instead of just saying, like on a post, for example, like, oh wow, like that's beautiful, or excellent, or you look great, you really want to start thinking about making sure that when you're replying in the comment section that you are leaving questions and open-ended answers so that you can get that comment back, okay? Think of this as keeping the conversation flowing, not necessarily like your inbox where you want to shut that down and just kind of get over your job, but that you really want to start getting people to respond back to you, okay? There was a study that showed that comments weigh about 8% versus an emoticon, which gives a 3%, and a like, which gives a 1. So I know that it's great to go through. You can like on people's posts, but just remember, it doesn't give you that much of an engagement factor. And actually, kind of long gone are the days where, you know, maybe you were a coach 6 months ago or a year ago, and you're instructed to go through and, you know, like on a bunch of people's posts, right? Well, now we know that the like really kills the conversation and doesn't really give that much weight into your Facebook affinity, which really affects your algorithm. So start thinking about all the comments that you guys are leaving. You guys can do this on Instagram, and you guys can also do this on Facebook, but that you're trying to elicit a conversation. You're trying to start conversation going right there within the comment section, okay? Tip 3 is really being mindful of who you guys are adding into your network. Now, Facebook does a really good job of suggesting friends for us to add into our network, but you know, having 5,000 friends on Facebook really isn't the best idea, being because every person that you have in there is either going to be adding in to your Facebook affinity, right? Because it's all about relationships. So it's either going to be adding to that affinity score, or it's going to be taken away. So if you have 5,000 friends on Facebook and you're not interacting with them, and they're not your people, and they're not interacting on your stuff, then it's just going to weigh down your affinity results. So, and also kind of remember that every time you add somebody in, it's going to mess around with your algorithm a little bit. So, you know, I really suggest don't adding in like 20 new people on one day on Facebook, because it will mess around with your algorithm. So really add with a purpose. You know, think about, is that person on your dream team? Is this person sharing information that I would want to share, or that I find really interesting? Is this somebody that I really want to be like BFFs with in real life? And then, is this person actively posting on Facebook? Because if they're not actively posting on Facebook or on Facebook, then the likely of them liking and commenting on your stuff is probably far and few between, right? So they're not going to be giving you that love back, and you're just going to be really hurting your algorithm. This is something that I had to do, and I had to go through and kind of clean up my friends list. And something that I'm doing on a daily basis is going to my birthdays. And I know that this sounds horrible, but I'm going to my birthdays, and I am looking to see, as I go through the birthdays, if there's people on there that are just not a part of my tribe, or people that I can erase off of my friends list. I know that, you know, it's somebody's birthday, and I know that sounds horrible, but I'm thinking about, how do I duplicate this? How do I keep it in the front of my mind of adding it and getting rid of people on their birthdays? And you guys already know, it's also a great way for you to kind of reconnect with people as well. So I also spend that time to reconnect. But just really be mindful of who you guys are adding in and taking out of your network. I suggest adding in 5-10 people a day, no more than that. And the same thing with eliminating those people from your friends list too. A little tip that when you guys do add in people into your friends list, it's really smart to go and start interacting with them right away. With you interacting with them, obviously you're gonna start to build that relationship and get them to interact back with you, which is gonna really help with your affinity. If you add somebody into your account and you don't start interacting with them, you don't build that relationship there, then it's not gonna be helping with that affinity at all. It's not really gonna be helping your algorithm. So really be thankful about who you guys are adding in, and add in with a purpose. You guys can be building the relationships with your dream team. All right, the fourth tip that I want to give you guys is actually copying and pasting information. And this really goes into your messenger as well. It goes to posts that you guys post online. I know that there's some really great posts. In fact, I saw one today that was awesome that Jacqueline Stokes did. And it was like something about Thanksgiving, like, can we skip like Monday and just get here till Thursday? And I thought that it was a really, really great post that she did. Now, if I were to just take her post and be like, hey, Jack, like, I'm going to use that post, it's awesome, I'm actually going to help you giving Jacqueline more affinity onto her page, if that was her original post. I'm assuming that it was. And so when you see another post that you like, when you see a quote that somebody else has used, be sure to create your own. I'm sure that you guys have all seen at one point there's been like a Facebook glitch, and behind a picture, there's normally a little code behind it, and it'll say like there's a girl with children at the beach. It'll list all of these different nouns behind and adjectives behind that particular picture so that it's all source coded, okay? So don't copy and paste other people's posts. You guys know that I do that already, but it actually does decrease your engagement. And the same thing goes with messengers. Make sure that you're not just copying and pasting messages to people. It is really considered spam. So make sure you guys are changing around your messages that you guys are sending. Make sure you guys are personalizing those as well. Facebook has gone to the fact of blocking accounts from IP addresses that are being flagged with spam. So if you're sending somebody messages and you're not getting any kind of message back from that person, just understand that every time you're doing that and they're not opening it, that it does go against your relationship. So a tip you guys can do is, if you're going to message somebody for the first time, what I like to do is just leave a little comment in their comment section as we're talking back and forth and say, hey girl, I'm going to send you a message. This way they're looking forward to my message, and I'm more likely to have a click open rate rather just having it sit there, okay? The other thing is just really about being authentic. I really didn't go into this very, very much, but just really, really being yourself. I know that that's hard sometimes. Being a new coach, maybe you look at Melanie for ideas. Maybe you look at myself, other coaches that you guys see totally rocking the business. And I will say that that is a big mistake that I made as a new coach. Starting my business almost 5 years ago, I looked up to Lindsay Matway. I looked up to Melanie Mitro. These were coaches that were my leaders and also my mentors, and I really thought that I had to be like them to be able to succeed. And as you guys know, like, I am the farthest thing from either of those two people. I'm just not like them. So you can imagine me trying to post like Melanie. I don't even really sound like Melanie, so those of you guys that really know. But I thought that I had to be like that and be like them to be successful. Once I started doing more personal development and started sharing my story, obviously all the weirdness started coming out and people started to really recognize me. But just remember to really, really be authentic. You guys are enough. I think that's really important, that you guys are enough and you guys have a story to be able to share with others. The last tip I kind of want to add in here for you guys is just, and I think we say this a lot, but call to actions. So important that every single one of your posts has some kind of prompt to call to action, especially knowing that that comment gives us an 8% engagement, getting people to prompt. And I think that we're awesome when it comes to our call to action posts, wanting something, right? Wanting to join coaching or wanting them to join the challenge group, or, when we're doing our call to actions. But think about doing, call to actions on the bottom of every single one of your posts. Remember, people don't see all of your posts, and so you can never prompt people enough. So that's another tip for you guys to just kind of remember. Try to have a call to action to elicit response on the bottom of every single one of your posts. And then the third tip, or the fifth tip that I'm going to talk to you guys, is really using the tools in the toolbox. So you guys know Facebook is always coming out with all different tips, tricks, little tools for us to be able to use. They have the the Facebook like blocks right now where you can write status updates. Obviously there's video. A messenger day is big. In fact, I saw today, actually, maybe you guys, this is totally new, but I had 2 events. So I had this event and I had another event set up, and now they're showing up in my messenger area. So I can actually leave like photos and things like that that occurred with my event, and I guess people can see that in stories. So the reason that this is really important is that every time that Facebook comes out with new tools, when you use them, you are advertising for Facebook, okay? So use the new tools. You're gonna get a higher affinity rate just because people want you to see them, right? The second thing that I want to share is video. Video is not going away. I hate to say that I wish it did, because I'm just really starting to get into doing lives. I've been saying I was going to do lives for like a year. So if you guys know me, like, it's taken me a long time to get into lives. But I'm finally getting into it because I realize that video just isn't going away. There's more and more video that is coming out. And with the sea of networkers and marketers and people that are using Facebook, the number one thing that I can do to really help my business is help people get to know, like, and trust me. And the fastest way for them to be able to do that is doing video. All right. Video also right now is only accounting for 1% of our posts, but they're accounting for 7% of all reach, probably even higher now at this point. So Facebook wants you to do lives, and Facebook will reward you guys for doing lives as well. One study that I read showed that Facebook doing a live video can actually elicit 1,000 to 1,500% more impact on your affinity. And I really believe that that's because of the comments that you can generate in that post. Instead of doing a post where, hey, do you like this shoe red or white or brown or gray or this dress or this dress? You can definitely elicit comments that way. But when you're doing your Facebook Lives, you can ask them multiple questions and get multiple responses, therefore getting more comments drop below your post, which is it's going to really, really help with engagement. So Facebook Live is not going away, you guys. And with the sea of all of the noise out there, I really suggest Facebook Live being one of the things you guys really try to like hop on and try to master. And I know I say this coming from like my own self, just basically pushing myself over the ledge, because if we don't, then we're going to be forgotten. And I hate to say it like that, but I really feel like there's people that are really putting themselves out there. There's people that are kind of following along with the Facebook game. And so as marketers, we just have to make sure that we are always on top of what the new things are that are coming out and what's the best way for us to really maximize our time and then get people to really to know us as well. I'm going to just quickly check this off with you, hopefully, because I want to talk to you guys about something here. Well, where are you guys? You guys are probably just like looking like right at my face right now, or my nose hair or something. Okay, hold on, guys. It's coming. Oh. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm gonna there's a lot of chats here. All right, but I want to kind of just loud and clear period. Oh yeah, you guys are awesome. Okay, I'm gonna read all this. Okay. Okay, so what I want to kind of share with you guys, because I gave you guys a lot of information, but I want to share with you guys what you guys can really do with your teams, okay? So think about every day before you do your post, go and love on somebody's post. Do this for Instagram and for Facebook, okay? So go and love on people's posts for about 10 minutes before you guys do your post. Think of it again as just kind of priming your feed. Then do your post, okay? After you guys do your post, make sure you guys stick around for any comments that might come so you guys can boost up that algorithm. I always kind of stay because that first like 10 minutes is like really important. So I try to stay around and answer questions at that time or get that affinity boosted a little bit more. And I will also during that time go through and again, like and comment on people's posts. So I spend 20 minutes doing that. 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after, okay? And then I go to my birthday list, and from there, I send people messages there, either a little happy birthday comment, or like I told you guys, I get them kind of off of my list at that time. So it's a way for me to go through. Everybody only has one birthday a year, so it gives a really nice cyclical pattern for me able to do that. I then go to my friends list, and I look to see who accepted my friend request from the day before, and I send them a little message of the reason on why I friend requested them, or if it's on IG, like why did I follow them? Like, hey girl, like I like your page, blah 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 blah. And I do that as well, to really help with that algorithm factor of not just friend requesting people, but then friend requesting and starting to build that relationship with them ASAP to get those comments back, okay? And then I really do my workout and I do my personal development, and then I go and I do it all over again when I do my next post, okay? So hopefully that gives you guys just a little bit of an idea of what you guys can do. It's not much different than hopefully a lot of you guys are doing right now, but there is definitely a system that needs to be followed. So if you were like me and really building your business more on Instagram or say email marketing, and you think that you can just go and like throw up a post and you're having problems, go back down to the algorithm, go back down into really building those relationships, taking this time to comment on other people's posts first, and then see what kind of difference that it makes. I notice in my business, it's made a huge, huge, huge difference. So, and when I don't do those things, like this week where I've just been like crazy and I've pretty much just been on Instagram, my Facebook algorithm at the time, or basic affinity, is just absolutely horrible. So I hope that that helps you guys. I'm going to go through the questions here now. D, recommended for best Facebook Live, YouTube instructional videos. I was just seeing if there was anything else while I answer that one. Okay, so as far as Facebook Live instructional videos, I'm actually in this group right now. There's another like network marketer that does lives, and so I'm learning some things that are in there. There's a lot when it comes to really doing live, but I would say like the number one thing is like make sure that you have a list for what it is that you guys want to talk about. So just like you would go on a presentation like this, make sure you have some kind of list that you can, you know, kind of nail off what other your bullet points are. Also understand that you guys can teach on anything. So you guys are all masters of different things within your life that you might not even realize. A lot of us, for example, practice personal development. How many of us didn't practice personal development at all before Beachbody, right? Or when I was talking to one of our coaches today, Yolanda, and she's like, you know, I was asking some of the girls just through IG stories if they ever did vision boards before, right? And a lot of people haven't done vision boards. So when you guys think about doing your Facebook Lives too, just think about like, what are some things that you guys know that you guys can use to teach others? And I bet that there's a lot more than you guys think. And just keeping that run it kind of bullet list. The other thing is get on right away and start talking right away to your audience. Don't wait for people to get on, because the record will come, the replay will come, and it'll be really awkward as you're sitting there waiting. So just make sure that you start your conversation right away. The third thing that you guys can really think about when it comes to Facebook Live is just like the title. Like, is it a catchy title? And this kind of just goes back to like your post titles too, how we have like those kind of scroll stoppers when we first do our posts, right? It's the same thing really with your Facebook Live. So think about different catchy titles. Sometimes I'll like look it up like even on like Facebook and say like, what's a good title for 5 diet tips, or 5 ways to stay on track during the holidays, or you could share, I mean, there's so many different things you can share, but you guys can Google different things too, and they'll come up with different kind of live videos. You can even Google like, what's a good live heading for this, and you'll see a ton of different information on there as well. How long should the videos be? I think that it really depends on the content, to tell you the truth. I've seen some people that have amazing, amazing videos that are really educational, and they can be on there for a half an hour, and all the time their likes and engagement keeps going up. I think that, so it really depends on what your content is when it comes down to that. I can't tell you how long. I've been told in the past that it should be short, like 5 minutes or lower, but I don't really know if that's true anymore, because I really think that it has to do with content and how well you're able to keep people engaged on those posts. Raina, I will be honest with you, at this point, like I am literally throwing myself onto the live, and I have my list of what it is that I want to talk about, and I just feel like it's just practice makes perfect. And so as long as I have some things that I want to talk about, and I feel like it's value added, I'm just really getting used to just kind of going on live, and just, I don't know, there's something about like that live button that like just that anticipation beforehand that like drives me crazy. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just kind of going live. So I wish that I could tell you guys that I'm like the live expert, but I'm far from the live expert. I know that it's just something that I need to be doing more of. And then time of day would be better. I would think it would be when your audience is on. I know that like Mel does like business tip Tuesdays, and she normally does that like around 10 o'clock in the morning, I think, on Tuesdays. So it would just depend really like what your audience is on and like what you're teaching on, right? So think about like in the evening where people are kind of settling down or whatever, you might not go into this like super like intensive topic, right? Where other people might be better, you know, during the day. And I do, from this group that I just am doing right now, I have some live content that I can share with you guys and just pull up some of this PDF information that I was just kind of given within this group that'll hopefully help you guys out. But I think the important thing is a lot of people have left and gone to Instagram, which I think Instagram is amazing. But Facebook is obviously, you guys, one of, if not the #1 social media platform. And so we can't just dismiss Facebook as a way of marketing. We have to make sure that we're kind of playing by Facebook's rules and understanding really what that algorithm is. So the one thing that I will say, you guys, is you just stick to relationships. If you just really stick to just trying to build relationships with people, be that person that gives, you know, the comments and the loves on other people's posts, you're going to have that reciprocal effect really come back to you. So it's really just the easiest thing to be able to do is just make sure you guys are using those connections, loving on other people, and that is the best way to really help you guys with your Facebook algorithm. Do you guys have any other questions about Facebook? Are you guys confused at all? Any questions that I can answer for you guys about anything? Let me know. I'm checking the chat. I don't think I see anybody. Okay, do I have a posting schedule that I use? Okay, so I do not have a posting schedule. That just is not me. I'm not a planner. I kind of go by inspiration is how I run my day, which is why I think Instagram stories is great for me, because I can just like go on the fly and I necessarily don't need to have a posting schedule. But I will say that I'm always inviting to coaching, and I'm pretty always inviting to challenge groups. So I'm always doing a lot of different call to actions all the time. So I think that if you're doing a lot of different call to actions all the time, it makes a really big difference. I know Mal has like a calendar that she follows so that she knows when she's doing like her clean week and when she knows she's doing her challenge group, when she knows she's doing coaching. I pretty much invite off of like what my inspiration is and what my post is. So that's kind of how I do it. So no, I don't. Let's see here. Let's see, what's my next question? How important is it that we move from a biz page to a personal page? Okay, so as you guys know, there's been some people that have lost their personal pages recently, probably within the last 2 weeks or so, that are coaches. People don't know exactly why they're getting removed. Sometimes it's because they have music on their videos. Other times they're thinking that maybe they got flagged as spam. So if you are doing sales on your personal page, then you do have a chance of getting your business page or your personal page taken away. Now I will say that it's always been like this, but you have to understand that Facebook is a business, right? And so they don't want people necessarily making free money off of their site. They want you to pay for it, which is why they have the ads. So, and this is why also they're, you know, the most lucrative business pretty much in the world right now, right? But I just was telling Mel this before the call, that somebody was talking to somebody from Facebook, and it is their goal to get rid of, you know, people that are running businesses on their personal accounts. Now, I will say, if you're running your business and you're, you know, don't have flash sales up there, you're not talking about sales, you're not talking about discounts, you're not talking about any of those kind of things, and you're really living your life and doing the lifestyle posting, I would think that you would have a less of a problem. It doesn't mean that it can't happen, and I'm definitely using my business page and getting my coaches started on Instagram much quicker because of this reason, because a lot of us were just building our businesses on Facebook, and this kind of we ran into these problems. So I want to say that, you know, I would definitely have some other way to run your business besides just your personal page, Melinda. Okay. Let's see. Do you do a call to actions in your Insta stories? Oh, wait, let's see here. I'm sorry, guys. If you don't interact with regular people, does that bring your rating down? Yes. So remember that when we talked in the beginning about Facebook affinity, it really has to do with relationships. So yes. So the more people obviously that you are interacting with, the higher your affinity is going to go, which is going to affect your algorithm. Okay. So the more people that you can comment and interact with on a daily basis, the better. And I know that this is off topic, but for example, a lot of the girls I've talked to that work their business on Instagram, they're going through and they are, commenting on like 50 people's posts like a day, and making sure they're doing that like every day to really keep that algorithm up, because it is so much about relationships. This business is so much about relationships and really commenting on other people's things, not so much the likes. Is there a way to add your email somewhere on my page, or it's just going to be in my about section? It's in your about section, Amanda, unless you add it into that first little part that you can kind of like add it into under your bio. You can put your email there if you want to. Do I do call to actions in my Insta stories or my Facebook stories? So I'm not really using Facebook stories at this time. I don't know why, but mine isn't necessarily, it should be connected to my Facebook stories, but it's not. And I think it's because I have a business account. And honestly, most people that are following my Facebook stories are coaches. So I kind of felt like that really didn't make much sense. But I do it in my Insta stories, and I do call to actions pretty much every single day on my Instagram stories. So yeah, tons of call to actions. And if you guys have 10,000 followers or more, you guys can do a click up and you guys can have them attach like an application. And if you don't, you can still do the swipe up feature, and what it will do is it will pop you a message in your DM. So you can still use that feature to be able to call to action on your post, to get people to respond to you. You could even do a call to action like send me like an emoji, same kind of thing that you guys can do on Facebook. Should we be really concerned about using our personal page for promotions? I have a business page too, but post on both. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I would like to say that yes, but with people losing their accounts, I just think like as business owners, like just be really careful about what you're doing and make sure that you guys have other options. You guys, for example, and you guys, this is beyond if Facebook ever, operates and takes down pages or not. But as you guys know, like you don't own your Facebook account, you don't own your Instagram account, but you could do like a blog, you guys could do a website, you guys could do an email list. You guys own all of those things to be able to communicate with others that social media necessarily can't take away from you. So I would have some other way that you guys have access to your list of people, that you can access them, so that if something were to happen and say your page was gone, you'd still be able to contact your list of people. So just kind of think about that just in the back, so that you guys have other options too. But I think starting a business page in the background is really, really important. If you guys can start getting that built up now, and then lean into away from your personal page, that is what I'm going to be doing. Do you feel that making a comment rather than just a like is more beneficial? Yeah, it is a lot more beneficial. Likes only have a 1% in your algorithm versus the comment that has an 8%. So yeah, you want to be making comments. Likes really don't give that much. So, and think about it just kind of yourself too. Like if you get 20 likes on your post, like you might not notice all 20 people, but if you get 20 likes on your post and you got 3 comments, those 3 comments are really going to stand out. So just do unto others as you would want unto yourself. Is there a reason to think that Instagram won't start doing the same? So, with Instagram, I have a business account on Instagram. So I feel like everything that I'm doing on there is safe either way, So if you have a personal account on Instagram, you guys can always change it to a business account, and then you will be, playing along with Instagram's rules. So that Instagram is a pretty easy fix. You can just change your account from a personal to a business. Should I go through and delete a bunch of people that don't fit my niche? So I don't suggest deleting a bunch of people all at once. This is where I use the birthday thing for, and I delete the people based on their birthdays if they don't fit my niche. This way, it's, you know, sometimes 5 or 6 people that I might delete. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 1. But just remember that everybody you take on and everybody you take off is just going to affect your algorithm a little bit. So the more people that you remove, the more people that your algorithm is going to switch, and vice versa. Since our posts can't compete against each other, should we only do 1 live video a day? Is it okay to do a day life type videos too? Like, I'm going to travel tomorrow, so what about doing a live video for packing my travel meal prep in the morning, but then doing another late about exercising, etc.? I think it depends on how good that live goes. So it's more about how good like your post goes. And I will tell you that, I mean, there's been times last week that I would do a post and I got no likes on it for like 12 minutes. And I just took the post down. So I just think that it really depends on the post that you're doing and if that post has good traction. If the post has good traction, then you're going to want to wait. If the first post you did didn't have that great attraction, you know, either take it down and redo it or wait and do another one later. So this is more pertaining to if you have an amazing post that's riding, make sure you kind of let that post ride. Okay, Mel says you always need to have a way to collect emails, so you have a way to keep in contact with others. Have hashtags changed much in terms of posting them in the post or comment section? Okay, so now we're talking about Instagram. Okay, Instagram. It doesn't matter if you do them in the hashtags in the post or in the comment section. I use the Hashtagger app. It's a really great app that I use. Let me see if I can pull it up. But it gives you all different kind of hashtags for you guys to be able to use. And you can just type something in and then it pulls relevant hashtags from Instagram. It's called Hashtagger. Let me see if I can get this to work. So it looks like this. And you can just type in whatever your niche is, you know. So if you're a nurse, you could write nurse. If you're a mom, you could write mom. So here's an example. Like I have like mermaid, like yogi, because that's kind of more like my style. And it's going to pull up a lot of these different ones. It gives you the top 30 ones. And the ones at the top are the ones that are most used. And the ones at the bottom are the less used. And so what I have been told to do is to actually choose a couple of the top ones and then choose a couple in the middle and then choose a couple in the bottom. So for example, ones at the top would be mermaid yogi, yoga every damn day, yoga challenge. And then as I go down, they're a little bit more not as common, right? So back bends, making beautiful shapes, practice yoga daily, heart opener. They become a little bit more, I guess, something that you wouldn't think of right off the top of your head. And the key to using these ones that people don't use all the time is you're going to have a better chance to be able to go viral in that particular hashtag that you're using. So if you use one that shows fitness, you have a million other people that are probably hashing fitness around the same time. Now, if you use one like back bend or, let's see, mermaid hair or, let's see, my yoga life, the option of you really showing up in that first 9 square is you're going to have a little bit better chance of doing that. So that's just kind of some information on hashtags. I really like page, but I don't get like any comments on it. My personal page, why? Rena, so it really depends on like focus. Like you have to build like where your energy goes, intention flows, right? So when it comes to my IG, I grew my IG account, but it wasn't until this year that I actually was there interacting. So I had a page, but I really didn't have that much interaction there because that's not physically where I was at. So just remember that you've got to be at that other page. Your page just can't kind of run it by itself. You can't just like have some posts. You actually have to be present in that particular space. And then I think you're going to have a different kind of result. Yeah, so if it's connected to a Facebook business account, then it is, yes, then it is a business account. Okay. I think that is all the questions. What about sharing posts from IG to Facebook like page? Again, original content. So if you can not share it and, you know, copy it and paste it and put it on there or even change it up a little bit, the more engagement that you're going to have. So they really don't recommend, as far as engagement goes, sharing posts from IG to Facebook. I would copy that post, change the wording around a little bit in the actual text of it, and then post it. Okay, hopefully this helped answer a lot of your questions. I know you guys have a lot of questions about IG, so we'll make sure you guys get an IG call, either from myself or somebody else that loves IG shortly, because I know there's a lot on IG. I am going to do tomorrow with my team kind of my power hour using IG stories. And so when I'm done doing that, I'll download it for you guys too, so you guys can see how I do my power hour on IG stories if you guys are interested in that at all. So I'm going to just stop the, Mel, can you stop? I'm not seeing the record. Can you stop the record?